Painter's tools are something that most of us have around. Painters use them every day. They're very useful, very handy. Can be very specific to painting and to being able to clean up things, to be able to really do a great job. But one of the things about painter's tools is that they are kind of a different tool that can fit a lot of needs. And you know, from my grandfather's old little putty knife down to this little tool that I've used for years, they've really upgraded a lot of these painter's tools to up to 14 in one tool. So this is kind of a multi-tool. And there's a lot of things that the painter's tool can do that you can't do with a standard multi-tool. And so we're going to take a look at a number of different painter's tools, using it for survival. Why would you like to have one in your bag or in your toolkit? Because guys, there's a lot of things that painter's tools can do, and we're going to take a look at a number of different styles. And again, you got to improvise to survive. Now guys, these are honestly just putty knives. Some do have a little bit more of a chisel to the end, so you're able to use this for a lot of different things. For a chisel, for scraping, again, for putting down putty, being able to clean out certain areas, and it can be pretty sharp. You can use this actually as a knife. You can use it as a scraper for a fire tool. But when it moves up to your standard putty tools, you know, there's a lot of different configurations, and of course a lot of this is made so you can clean out your rollers. You can get into certain cracks and little nooks and crannies to be able to clean things out when you're painting. And then you can upgrade to more of your multi-tool type things. I mean, this one has a bottle opener, it has a nail puller, it has a couple of bit drivers, and so it just gives you a lot of different options. This again is a very basic tool, and yet it has the chisel on the front. But what's really cool, even here on the end, it has a nut driver. And you can use this as an improvised hammer. Or this one has a little hidden compartment to be able to pull out your bits. You have bits for Phillips head and for flathead. And it goes right in the end here. And so this gives you a lot of options that are very different from your standard painter's tools. And then you've got tools all the way up to this with a ton of different features. And it's pretty sturdy. And then here at the end, you can pull out the cap, and it has bit drivers at the bottom. So you have a lot of different things. You have a little scribe, and you have a couple of Phillips head, and then on the other side you have flathead. So this gives you a lot of different options to be able to use this. It slips right back in, and you can even use this as an improvised hammer or an impact tool. Then they have some pretty cool ones that actually fold. So you can keep this in your pocket, bring it out, use it for whatever you need to. I mean, there are just so many different options, and this is just a few. There are others out there. Now these were designed as painter's tools, obviously, and of course with the crescent on the side, it makes it really easy to be able to clean rollers, and you can save your paint. There's quite a bit of paint that stays in those rollers. And then also opening cans with the chisel part. I mean, it makes it simple, and then closing them, especially if you have a metal cap on the end, you can just pound it down. But when you're painting, a lot of times there are other tasks that need to be done, whether it's repairs or scraping. And so these tools are just multifunctional for that reason. And because of that, it makes it really great to be able to use for other things pertaining to survival. Also taking this sharp little point, and it has a little blade to it, you could actually bore into wood. Now, whether you're trying to do bow drill method, or you're just trying to produce something, I mean, this gives you the capability. It doesn't go very deep because it starts to get wide, but it'll definitely bore it out. With the chisel edge, I mean, this actually makes some decent shavings. You can use this for fire tinder. I mean, that'll definitely help you to get a fire going. Now with a ferro rod, as long as it has carbon steel in the paint scraper, if it's just stainless, it won't do it, but you can test them out. But we have a little bit of Vaseline and cotton balls, and it has to have an edge on it. Doesn't create a large amount of spark. There we go. So guys, in a pinch, you got that, and we were using one of the fire rods from Outtakes. These things are excellent. Now if you have a nut driver set, you're definitely able to unscrew and screw things in. And of course this is the driver, or the holder itself. Put it in. We're able to get this without too much trouble. And of course we have different sizes as well, even a punch or an awl. This one has a little button on the side. Pull this right out. Take out your bit. You can put it in the handle. It gives you a little more leverage. Now I realize that this has bits that fit right here and there's a small magnet. And so when I was doing the original video, I didn't notice that, but I just took standard bits and they actually go up in here and it holds. And then your driver's on the end. So this is also a great way. I think you may lose them right here, but they seem to stay in pretty decently. And then we have a flat head on the other side. But again, it just slips inside there. The folding scrapers, this one even has a little hook on the back. Slide that in, and it just keeps it handy. If you don't have a multi-tool, again, this works really well. And it locks. And of course, with this hole in the back, you can attach a lanyard here. I just have a paracord lanyard, but that way you can attach it to your belt, your pack, and of course you can put it on your wrist if you're really doing things and you just want to work. So it just allows just really easy access. So the old painter's tool, there's a lot of things you can do with it. Sometimes you don't really think about it, and that's the reason why I wanted to kind of inspire you to think about things that you could use your painter's tools for. If you want to upgrade them, again, there's a lot of different choices out there that really make these an all-around multi-tool and really could complement one of your standard multi-tools with your pliers. And it keeps you from having to carry around a lot of tools because you have everything right in one. And again, sometimes you got to improvise to survive. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Cutting out putty, feathering. Painter's tools. Making a mess. Here we go. Okay.
This is all over the place, boss.
Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America.